This is my mid-size bat box. It is not a pretty build, but it's cheap, easy to make, and it is sturdy. 3 years ago, when we first moved into the house to help with the mosquito population, I built a similar one of these and hung it up on the side of our shop. That year we didn't get any bats, and last year we didn't get any bats, but this year we're showing signs of bats, so we're actually excited to have our bats here at the homestead. It's not a pretty build, but it's not meant to be a pretty build. It's supposed to look rough and ready. The cedar fence posts do come all rough, and that's a good thing because the bats need something to cling on to and to grab when they climb into the bat box. If you really wanted to, you could sand the outside of this and put some stain or paint on it, but you got to remember that some of the paint and stain that you put on there has to be water-based because bats are sensitive to oil base and other stains. So if you do paint it or stain it, make sure that it's gonna be water-based and mild enough for the bats to be able to tolerate it. It has 3 chambers with a hole between each chamber so that the bats can regulate their body heat and move from chamber to chamber without leaving the box. And it has vents to help regulate the temperature inside the box. And it's made of cedar, which is weather resistant. And it's an easy build, it's a cheap build, so let's take a look to see how it's done. As I said before, this build is made with cedar fence planks. So what we'll need to do is just cut these the length, and some of these cuts will actually need a beveled cut to them as well. This is the contour to the roof of the bat box. Now these dividers are going to divide up the chamber divider boards, and this is just to allow the bats to have a 3/4 inch space, which is ideal for bats' roosting areas. This whole build is held together with galvanized nails and exterior wood glue. This is going to hold the box together. If you've seen any of my other builds, you know how much I love the Craig pocket jig. We'll have to set the drill bit to a 5/8 or 1/2 inch setting due to the width of the cedar fence planks. The most common bat found in North America is the brown bat. There are 2 kinds of brown bats. There is the little brown bat and the big brown bat. I know, clever, right? It is easier to put the dividers on after you've connected the boards, but I put them on before. It makes it a little bit more difficult if you do it afterwards, just because I like to put the pocket holes on the back of the boards. Alternatively, you do not need to use pocket holes for this build. What you could do is glue the edges together and clamp them. What you'll need to do is just make sure that the edges are cut. You have to have a clean, flat surface for the glue to adhere to, and clamps will assure that it has a tight, close fitting. I didn't do it for this build because for the wood glue to set up, it takes 24 hours, and I wanted to get this done in a single day. The little brown bat can eat 1,000 mosquitoes per hour. That is 6,000 to 8,000 mosquitoes per night. The center chamber divider boards are cut at an angle, and this is just for aesthetics. It can be cut prior to gluing them together, or you can glue the boards together and cut them all at once. In this video I've done both. This first time I cut them all at once, and for the second board I cut the pieces individually. Bat boxes should be installed 15 to 20 feet up. This is to keep them away from predators, and they should also be installed on south or east facing walls. They should get between 6 and 8 hours of sunlight. Bats love to have the heat. This keeps them comfortable during the day, but it also keeps the humidity down. This lets them avoid any unnecessary diseases. Brown bats average about 1 pup per year, and they can live to about 6 to 7 years. Pocket holes on this thin of boards need to be screwed in carefully to avoid splitting the wood. It's advisable to do this by hand, as it's less prone to tear out by screwing them in by hand. The cedar fence planks are already rough, but scoring the bottom landing areas help the bats get into the box easier. You can score it with a utility knife, a saw, or if you feel adventurous, you can set the miter saw stop and cut the boards that way. Cutting access holes for the bats allows them to move from one chamber to another. This helps them to regulate their body heat. The front of the bat box will get hotter during the hot days, and this allows them to scoot back closer to the wall into the cooler chambers without having to leave the box. At this point, we are combining the dividers and the spacers together, and this makes the inside of the box. It's okay to not be perfect. The outside shell will help with the looks and also will keep the box watertight. Like I said before, every piece is connected with nails and glues. Glue is going to be a strong connection and it's going to keep this box together in the end. The nails are just there to make sure that the glue has a tight surface. Bats don't only eat insects, they also are good pollinators too. There are certain flowers that bloom at night, and these bats love these blooming flowers. Along with bat boxes, you should give the bats something to drink. Bird baths or other water features are helpful. The roof has two parts. The solid piece will keep it watertight. These side pieces keep the box watertight and hides all the different layers on the inside of the box. It also gives it a nice finished look. When installing the bat box, make sure that the bat box is not confined and that the bats have a good place to take off and land. Now to finish it off, we're going to add these 2 boards to the top to give it a good finished look. It's not a pretty build, but it's not really meant to be. It's meant to be cheap and easy to build. It's just made with the cedar planks and with common tools and common materials. So you can take your time on it, you can sand it down and make it look pretty, but that's not the intent here. The intent here is to get you a functional bat box, and that's what we have. So I appreciate you taking your time and taking a look at this build, and if you're interested, the plans are down below, and if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe, and if you liked what you've seen, go ahead and like this video, and if you have any questions or any comments or any suggestions about this build, please leave a comment. I love reading your comments and I love to hear from you. So thanks for watching.